What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic day. It's Thursday, so we've got ourselves the top 13 matchups between the Eagles and the Chiefs in this Super Bowl 59 matchup. Can't even talk. I'm so excited. I can't believe we are 3 days away from the Super Bowl. We get our revenge against the Chiefs here in 3 days. I can't stress enough how effing excited I've been all damn week, losing my mind at work. Hell of a day today. Hopefully you were all safe out there, but I'm getting pumped up here. Only one more day in this week, and then we got the weekend, and then we are almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Almost there. Super Bowl 59 Sunday, February 9th at 6:30 p.m., baby. Let's go. So that's what we're here to talk about. Going to give you a little bit of information you need to know before we get into the top matchups, but love to hear your thoughts on this. You got score predictions, players of the game, whatever's on your mind. You got your own top matchups for this game. Love to hear from you. Appreciate you hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, all the things you're doing to support the channel. Cannot thank you enough. Let's jump right into this bad boy. I want to show you what both of these teams have looked like so far in the regular and postseason here. As you can see, the Eagles 6th in points, 7th in total yardage, 2nd in rushing, 31st in passing. We know they need to pass. When they need to pass the ball, they can. Giving up too many sacks this year, don't like that, but not turning the ball over. Need to keep the ball in our hands, clean football. Can't shoot ourselves in the foot. And you see the defense, 1st in points and total yardage there, 8th against the run, 2nd against the pass, 13th in sacks, 3rd in turnovers. So team really stepping it up and showing why they are in the Super Bowl. And in my opinion, the best team in the NFL. Going up against the Chiefs, who, yeah, if you're looking at stats, maybe it's not the same as before, but they're still pretty damn good. I think that we all know who they are. But, regardless, 12th in points, 19th in total yardage doesn't really seem like them. But, again, they can still get it done. Giving up some sacks there, not turning the ball over. You see on the defensive side of the ball, 4th in points, 10th in total yardage. So the defense definitely stepping it up this year. And we're going to take a look at both these teams and get to know everything about them. But just want you to have that information for you. You want to pause it, go back to it, whatever it is. But also want to keep you up to date with what both of these teams look like. And we'll do that first with an update on the injury report. You can see Jalen Carter and Kenny Gainwell, both full participants today. So Brandon Graham and Devontae Smith still limited with their injuries. But tomorrow we'll get the game status report, know who's out, who's questionable. You can see Nick Gates was added today in a limited capacity. Everyone else full, good to go there. And then the Chiefs added their punter, Matt Araiza, with an illness, but he was a full participant. Sky Moore still limited. We'll see if he comes off of IR, but Jawan Taylor and Patrick Mahomes, both full participants, good to go there. So let's take a look now at both of these teams. You see the injuries, what's going on there. Looks like everybody's going to be healthy, but if either of them want to make elevations for this game, we want to have a fullback, another linebacker for depth. We could definitely elevate Blossom Game and Morrow again, whatever they want to do, but that is the Eagles practice squad. Here is their IR. These are the players that you will not see on the depth chart. Covey, Graham, Azoma, all trying to come off of IR for this game. We'll see if they activate any of them by Saturday at 4 o'clock. Now, here is the depth chart. On offense, as I mentioned, maybe we elevate a fullback. We obviously have done that for all of the games. So, Blossom Game helps on special teams as well. Everybody healthy, though, so don't really need to elevate any of the other positions there or anything like that. Everybody on the line looks to be healthy. Love to hear that. And the same goes, on the defensive side of the ball. When you're talking about the line, Jalen Carter, he had an illness, but no need to fear there. And it looks like everyone else will be all right, good to go. Same can be said for the special teams department. Everybody good there. And then we'll show you the Chiefs here with the practice squad. They can elevate 2 of these players. If anybody's banged up or they just need some depth somewhere, these are their options. And you can get detailed versions of this and other shows throughout the week. Go check out the Super Bowl playlist, or they should be right there on the homepage. But just want to breeze through this stuff to give you an idea. Here is their IR. These are the players you will not see on the depth chart. Sky Moore trying to come off of IR for this game. But you can see this is their offense. Hunt leading the way with Pacheco back. But he's been still the lead back. We'll see how it works out here in this game. more of a pass-catching guy, so I could see them using him a lot. But you can see the receivers, without Sky Moore, don't really need him. You got Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster, Watson, Remigio's there, Travis Kelce, your tight end. Offensive line, Jawan Taylor looks to be good to go, so great news for them there. And then on the defensive side of the ball, looks like these guys will all be ready to rock and roll here. So, again, if you want a detailed version of this, go check it out on the home YouTube page. You can see actually breakdowns behind enemy lines with the Chiefs, get to know everything about them. And then there is an Eagles update with all of the practice squad, roster, everything, all the moves they've made leading into the Super Bowl here. So go check those out. But wanted to give you that info. Now I want to jump into these top 13 matchups. And you know how this goes. I like to talk about special teams, offense, and defense. So we'll get into how it goes, but try not to get too worked up about the numbers. It's not really, it's kind of just how I want the flow of the game to go. And what I find to be the most important at the end will be number one. You'll see how it works. But love to hear your thoughts on this. Your top matchups, whatever you got going on up there, love to hear it. Let's rock and roll with the special teams first and foremost at 13. And look, they've got Nico Remigio, who usually handles punt and kick returns. P. Ryan had a kick return last week. We'll see if they use him at all. But Coop DeJean. And then we have Isaiah Rodgers, but we also use Kenny Gainwell. Sometimes use Shipley. But with, Kenny G banged up, maybe they don't want to use him. Well, but maybe you need Rodgers for depth. So we'll see who gets those kick returns. But whoever it is, somebody in the return department, this is going to be a slugfest here. So if you can get something going in the special teams department, that would be huge. And as much as I hate Cooper DeJean back there because I don't want to see him hurt, would love to see him get something going here. Big return, maybe get a touchdown. That would be awesome. I'd love to come back to this and tell you how he ran back a touchdown, and this is why we wanted to draft him, his versatility. That would be awesome. But you got to be able to stop Remigio on the other side. Kid is very talented. They kept him for that purpose. So let's shut these guys down and let's make some big plays ourselves. But I want to start things off with our offense and their defense. And this is going to be a good one. So Dickerson, Jurgens, all have been banged up here. And we know how, talented this offensive line is. And I think Landon Dickerson, he is proving one of the best left guards in the, game. Gave up a few sacks this year, but still a stud. Cam Jurgens, everybody said he couldn't step in and replace, Jason Kelce, but he's having a phenomenal year. Not exactly the greatest in the passing department. He himself has given up a few sacks, but phenomenal in the run game. Same with, Landon Dickerson there. So I think, these guys on this offensive line, and of course, Mekhi Becton, what a surprise he was, picking him up, moving him to right guard. He's been one of the better guards in the game, and he's given up a few sacks. But this dude, it's amazing to see what Jeff Stoutland is able to do with these guys. But they're going up against some studs here. And we all know Chris Jones is an effing monster. Tershawn Wharton, not exactly the same, but Chris Jones having another phenomenal season. This dude can, get to the quarterback. He can stop the run. He can do it all. So got to watch out for him. He had 6 sacks this season, and I think we all know who he is. We all know that this dude is, the real deal here. But we've got one of the best interior O-lines, so let's shut him down. And I think we should be able to, do some work on guys like, Wharton and Pennell and Noddy when they're in there. I understand they want to talk about, no one's ran for over 100 yards in 18 games. That's fine. They haven't played the Eagles. They haven't played Saquon Barkley in this offensive line. So run the ball right down their effing throats. Don't see it being a problem. And then on the outside, I think the same goes here. Karlaftis and Dana, Amenahue, they've been doing decent this year. I'll say that. But I think that, Karlaftis, more of a pass rusher, not really, doing well against the run. And, I think it's the opposite for Mike Dana and Amenahue, more run stoppers. So we have the best tackles in the game. We should be able to protect Jalen Hurts and get this run game going against this line. Protect our damn quarterback and running back. Please give him some time in that pocket. Give the running back some time to see his holes. Let's effing go. Let's run this damn thing, pass this thing, whatever we got to do. But it starts in the trenches, so let's effing go offensive line. Now, talk about all these weapons. Dallas Goedert is a weapon I think is just slept on nonstop. And I understand, he gets hurt at times, but when he is healthy, he is one of the better tight ends in this game. And I think, he has obviously proven that this season. Came in and, he's a great receiver. He can block. He can do it all. And I think, if you can get him going, and they have good linebackers, good safeties, going up against guys like Justin Reed and, Brian Cook here, those are some talented guys. Now, Justin Reed, more of your coverage safety, so he'll probably be doing more work on Dallas Goedert. Brian Cook, more of your run-stopping guy. But regardless, for matchup purposes, this is why it says this. But I think, again, Justin Reid having a phenomenal season, but Dallas Goedert, do some work on these dudes. Let's get him involved in the middle of the field, or outside the numbers, whatever you got to do. I think Dallas Goedert could have a big game here, and that would be fantastic. And speaking of pass catchers, let's get these wide receivers going. I, again, still think we'll be able to run the ball, and that's why this isn't, higher on the list. But I think it's going to be a great matchup. You look at guys like Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, and, obviously A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, the best duo in the game. But McDuffie's having one hell of a year. Watson and Connor have been pretty good, but, dude, Trent McDuffie is one of the most slept-on corners in this game, so should be great to see him going up against Brown, Smith, however it goes. And, Jahan Dotson is the third receiver. You hear a lot of talk about why hasn't, he surpassed 1,000 yards this season. It doesn't make any sense. I think it makes perfect sense when, you've got guys like we have here. And I think that A.J. Brown obviously is top 3 wide receiver in this game. Dude is phenomenal. Devontae Smith, top 10 wide receiver in this game. And they've both been doing effing work this year. You know that A.J. Brown, man, when he does need to get the ball, he makes effing plays. And, he had a drop in the postseason with that snow, but he had 0 drops in the regular season. This dude is a freak of nature. 1,000 yards this year, 7 touchdowns. I think in an offense like this, that's awesome. So if you need to pass the ball, I think it's definitely possible. You got some good corners you're going against here, but I think Devontae, you've seen his stats going up against, the Chiefs and in the playoffs. This dude, when his number is called, is a game changer. We've talked about that. He had 833 yards, 8 touchdowns. This dude's going to be ready to rock and roll, so I'm excited about that matchup. But the weapon I want to see getting the ball the most, Saquon effing Barkley. I want to see this ball ran right down their effing throats. And we know what kind of season he's having. 9th player in NFL history, over 2,000 effing yards. People wanted to break the record rather than winning the Super Bowl. I'm good on that. 13 effing rushing touchdowns is pretty awesome. So he had 62 forced missed tackles. This dude's a beast. They can talk about whatever they want, how good they are against this, that, the other thing. You saw they're not that great against the run this season. So for me, I could care less. I think, Drew Tranquil, he is more of like a pass rushing type guy. He can cover. Nick Bolton, he can cover and play the run. He's a damn good, linebacker there. So they've got good linebackers going to do what they can to stop Saquon. But best of luck. We already talked about that line. Our line should be able to, create some paths for him and I think run these dudes over. Run the damn ball. I think Saquon has a huge game, and they're talking about how he won't go over 100. I think he could go over 100, maybe even over 120. And I think it's going to be a big game for him, and it needs to be. So I'm all about it. But the last on the offense here, QB effing 1 going up against this Chiefs defense. And, people could say whatever they want about Jalen Hurts. He is the truth. And sure, maybe the passing wasn't the greatest at times this year, but a new system, as always, and I didn't exactly agree with a lot of what was going on, Kellen Moore's offense, so it is what it is, but you saw almost 3,000 yards for Jalen Hurts this season, had 18 passing touchdowns. So, yeah, we run the ball a lot because we're really good at it, and the dude, I mean, how could you be mad at 14 rushing touchdowns, dude? Like, the dude scores and wins. That's awesome, and that's what I want to see in this game. Let's protect him. We know he had a lot of injuries lately, but the dude's an ox. He is a monster, the Terminator, I call him. Let's go out there and smoke this Chiefs defense. I know that they are talented, but we've got MVP caliber Jalen Hurts, who outdueled Patrick Mahomes last time. Let's not let the refs get involved in here. They're going to be, but we got to shut the refs down as well. That's an honorable mention here. But let's shut this defense down as well and get Jalen Hurts going here. I'm excited to see him using his legs, his arm, everything he can to win this game. A few touchdowns, maybe a couple in the air, a couple rushing, whatever it is. Let's go win this effing game on the back of Jalen effing Hurts. Now let's get into this Eagles defense going up against this Chiefs offense with, Andy Reid and Matt Nagy. And we know that this is a damn good team here. But this line, Trey Smith having a phenomenal year. I think, one of the better guards in the league. He can pass block. He's really good at run blocking here. So, yeah, he's really talented. No sacks allowed. But you go to the other side and you look at someone like a Caliendo here. This is somebody I think, you attack. This dude has struggled in pass blocking, run blocking. You get Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis going, and, Creed Humphrey, one of the better centers in this league. This dude is a stud. He also did not allow a sack here. So you're going to have your hands full, but there are weaknesses. And you have Jalen Carter, who is a freak of nature. We know he had 5 sacks, 53 pressures this year. This dude, I don't care what the stats say, he is a beast. And Milton Williams, we talked about it, probably should lock him up this year before it gets free agency. Well, now he has struggled against the run. This dude is a pass rush extraordinaire, and we talked about that when we drafted him. That is his specialty, one of those tweener-type defensive interior linemen. 6 sacks on the season. He had 40 pressures. I love this kid. And Jordan Davis, that is your nose tackle. A lot of people get confused about what that means. He is your 2-gap run-stopping monster. And, I think when he's in there, he does what he needs to. And he even had a sack this year and got one in the postseason here. But let's shut down their run. Let's make them one-dimensional and put in the hands of Patrick Mahomes. And, let's put Patrick Mahomes in the dirt here by getting to the damn quarterback and, taking away their running lanes, taking away Joe Thuney and Jawan Taylor here and going up, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, Jalen Hunt, Brandon Graham possibly being back. That is fantastic. But Jawan Taylor, he's pretty decent at pass blocking, but not the greatest at run blocking. So I'd like to see somebody tearing him down, trying to get after that quarterback, regardless of, how well he's done this season against the pass. And Thuney's done pretty damn well in the pass and the run. He's probably the better, in my opinion, of the 2 tackles. But look, either way, you've got yourself a tough task here. And Nolan Smith really coming on this year, doing fantastic. Love his game. Got 7 sacks in the regular season. This dude was able to do it all. He can stop the run, the pass. I really can't wait to watch him grow. And I think he has a very bright future still. I know a lot of people were calling to trade him this year. I do not agree with that. Josh Sweat probably going to be gone next year when he hits free agency. He had 8 sacks as well this year. He did pretty damn good. He's good against the run and pass. So bring it, man. Bring your A game. Let's shut these guys down. And, a young guy like Jalen Hunt, he had a decent year as well. Came in and did well with 2 sacks behind these guys. And obviously injuries to guys like Brandon Graham. But if Graham comes back, this is, a guy that can help you, that versatility along the line, going inside, outside, able to stop the run. He can pass rush still. He is still a stud. Had 4 sacks this year, so you love to see that. Would love to see him get something going, shut these guys down, and, stop them from getting it to their weapons. And, running the ball, it's not something they've done, the greatest this year, but they got Pacheco back now. And, he's had his struggles, probably, coming back from injury has to do with that. But Kareem Hunt has stepped in well. And I don't mean kicked in well. He stepped in to the rope. Never mind. He's a piece of shit. Anyway, 73.5 grade he had this year. And I thought, wow, that's something I need to look into. And, he had 7 rush touchdowns this year, which is impressive in its own right. But, I think his receiving ability as well. That's something he adds where I thought this is going to be a key to shut him down. Not only in the run game, he and Pacheco, but Hunt and Perine in the pass game. And that's why I added Perine here as well, because, that last play of the last game, they put him in there to trust him to end the game. You got to watch out for these dudes. And if they get one play, maybe they try to make it work, so watch out there. But we've got Oren Burks in there now for Nakobe Dean. And he's been playing pretty good, to be honest. He's been covering well. I thought against the run, he's been pretty damn good. He obviously, has had his downfalls, his missed tackles, things like that. But I really think, for stepping in for Dean, it has been phenomenal. And obviously sitting next to him there, Zach Bond, this dude, an all-pro defensive player of the year type year. I just can't believe how well he's played. And, he's going to have to help in coverage as well with Kelsey, with Hunt, with Perine, all these guys. So he's going to have to do his thing. And what a great year that this dude had, but going to need to step it up big time in this game. And obviously, you take away their run game, they're going to be trying to get it to their weapons. Xavier Worthy, the fastest combine time in history. Dude is definitely fast, and he's got other talents too. He can actually play as a receiver, but still young, still a little raw. And I think, obviously that can be seen, but it's later in the year. He's doing well, and he's got guys like DeAndre Hopkins. Hollywood Brown is back now. They have Juju Smith-Schuster back there and Justin Watson. So a lot of weapons. He can do a lot of things, but look, we still have Mitchell. We still have DeJean and Slay. So, hey, man, I understand it. And Marquise Brown back now. That's great. And you got another speedster. And DeAndre Hopkins is actually, playing pretty well still. Stats might not show you that, but I think, he had 5 touchdowns earlier in the year or in the regular season. So he's been playing well. But, dude, Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell, these guys, I mean, you obviously heard me before the draft, how much I wanted one of these guys. To get both of them is truly insane. And, looking at the rookie season, just imagine what the future is going to hold. So this is going to be a big game, with Patrick Mahomes throwing at him. This is going to be the best quarterback they face. So Coop, Q, bring your A game. Old Man River, Darius Slay, do what you got to do here. He's been playing well this year. This could be his final game with the Philadelphia Eagles or even just in the NFL. So, hey, man, let's go out with a bang here. Let's shut these receivers down. And most importantly, their number one pass catcher, their tight end, Travis Kelce. And we saw Zach Ertz have over 100 yards last week. Didn't enjoy that. But, look, Kelce's having another good year. We know how talented he is. We'll see how many years he has left. But only had a few touchdowns this year. They were actually, getting the receivers involved, moving the ball around like they used to. But Kelce's still a weapon, man. And, Bond and Burks have been playing well. C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Blankenship have been playing well. So, I mean, you got to do what you can, however they want to figure it out. Reed Blankenship's been pretty damn good in coverage this year, which is to a lot of people's surprise. I thought he was pretty decent before, but C.J. Gardner-Johnson's been really good in coverage, really improved his game there. And I think these guys, they got to do everything in their power to shut down Travis Kelce. It's going to be a tough one, obviously. One of the best tight ends in the game. But if we can take him away, try to leave it in the hands of the receivers, I think we could shut them down as well and make Patrick Mahomes' life a living hell. So at number 1, we got to take him down, man. We got to destroy the dynasty just like we did with Belichick and Brady. We're going to do with Reed and Mahomes. Let's burst that bubble as we become the new dynasty of the NFL. We have to take out the old. So Patrick Mahomes having himself another great season. No surprise there. Almost 4,000 passing yards. He had 26 passing touchdowns. They also had 11 interceptions there. I think we all know who Patrick Mahomes is. We know how good he is. Got to get pressure on him. But even if, you don't get quick pressure, he's still going to get the ball out, quick release, and he's going to do his thing. So you got to obviously be on the same page. Everybody's got to, hope that they've got this defense down. They've got their rotations, their keys as to what they do. All dependent on how they're lining up, what is happening post-snap, the pre-snap stuff, all that stuff. Everybody's got to be on the same page. This is it, man. This is the biggest game of the year. You got to bring your A game. So let's hope all these young guys, the new players, everybody has everything we talked about all year, getting everything to this one game, having the offense, the defense, everybody in sync, not having to think and react and just reacting. Let's see that here on Sunday, and let's go get this W. I think the Eagles, if they do all those things we talked about, honestly, I have us winning. I think the final bet I made was like by 6 points, but I think we could win by double digits here. I honestly think we are the better team. I think once we get that run game going, everyone that has been talking shit is going to get silent real quick, because once you open up that run game, just the defense is now on, its back toes. It's on its hind heels there, like just not having a good time, because you have to realize now they have to think, oh, God, with the RPO, are they handing it off to Saquon Barkley? Is Jalen Hurts going to run it? Is it going to be a quick throw to Goddard, AJ, Devontae? Are they bombing it? So many things go into this, when you have Dallas Goedert, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts in this offensive line. So get this offense going. This defense is good enough to stop anyone. Talked about it before the season started. This is going to be the best defense in the league. They are built to beat players like Patrick Mahomes, and let's hope we get to there. And here we are. So let's shut him down, run the ball right down their throats. Hurts pass when he needs to, use his legs when he needs to, and let's go beat the hell out of the Chiefs and get our damn revenge and get our damn trophy back. Let me know how you're feeling. Are you with me? If you're not with me yet, man, that makes me very sad inside. I've done my best this season. It's been a great season. Really appreciate all of you. This is the final top matchups of the season. So I hope you guys enjoyed all of this content. Tomorrow, I'll be back with the game status report. You'll know who's out, who's questionable. We'll have Fan Friday. Then on Saturday, you'll get the practice squad elevations and Sicko Saturday. And then on Sunday, a pregame and postgame show. Win, lose, or tie, we bleed green until we die. So I'll be here no matter what. And we'll be talking about it. And when the offseason begins next week, Going to take a couple of days, but I have a bunch of stuff planned for you. Sicko season will commence. Do not fear. You will have all the cap information, everything. Well, I already put the cap stuff out there, but I'll have breakdowns of how we can create more cap space, all that stuff you need to know. You'll have other people trying to do those shows, but tell them just to hold their britches. I'll show them how it's done. But right now, we're going to focus on going and winning the effing Super Bowl. Let's effing go. Let me know how you're feeling. Got a score prediction? You got a favorite player for this game? Top matchup that you want to talk about? Whatever is on your mind, I would love to hear from you. That's all I've got from you. You know, if you need anything else, I'm always here for you guys as you are for me. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this bad boy, subscribe down below. Super Bowl, 3 days away, baby. And I cannot wait to put this ass beating on the Kansas City Chiefs. So, until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always,